I just signed up for the Acme Sketchwriting Lab, officially making me $399 poorer. However, because I joined SAG a while ago, they sent me a free copy of The Dark Knight regular edition on DVD, retailing for between $15 and $30. So, yay. Alright, after showing you guys the sketch that I wrote last week, I've been thinking a little bit about my creative process and what it takes for me to actually write and finish a sketch. And since a good part of the rest of my year is going to be about sketch writing and sketch performing, I figured this was a good topic for a Musecast. So how do I come up with sketch ideas? Well, there are lots of different ways, but I think the most prominent way is what I guess could be called like the flash of genius. Usually this is a wordplay situation for me because I'm always messing around with words in my head. I guess, though, if I was being honest, I should just call this the wake Catherine up at 2 o'clock in the morning and ask her if this is funny moment. It goes a little something like this. Hey, is this funny? Okay. So that's basically the nuts and balls of it. Bolts! Is that funny?
Yeah, just go to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. I have that moment and I want to explore that and see what sketch it leads me into. Another way that I get ideas is what I call the direct inspiration. Basically, I've stumbled upon something and I feel like it needs to be put into a sketch. For instance, I was recently searching around the YouTube and I found a montage of reality show contestants saying some variation of "I'm not here to make friends," and I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea if there was a reality show contestant surrounded by others and she or he is all "I'm not here to make any friends," and the other ones are just completely floored by this idea. They can't understand it. They're like, wait, you're not here to make friends, and they just can't understand it. I like the idea of kind of turning that on its head and seeing where that takes me. So again, that's the moment that I have. Another way that I get ideas that's similar to direct inspiration but not quite the same is personal experience or "really, that just happened" moments. Those are basically where all of a sudden I'm aware of something about me or somebody points something out about me and I feel like, wow, that's just amusing enough that I need to kind of caricaturize it or exaggerate it and see where it fits into a sketch. For instance, it has come to my attention that when I go to places where there are customer service people, a restaurant or a grocery store or wherever, I tend to be really personable and conversational, so much so that it often seems like I'm flirting. It's never intentional, but there it is. So I have this idea of this husband and wife maybe at like a McDonald's and they're in line and she's like, "Oh, I really have to pee," and he's like, "What? Just go, I can order for you." And she's like, "No, we're almost to the front of the line, I really have to go." And he's like, "What's the problem?" And she's like, "You know how you get." And then so eventually she goes off and he has to order and there he is and he's seemingly flirting with this guy behind the counter and it's all completely innocent. But I like the idea of that. I'd love to see where it goes. And again, that's kind of how my sketches evolve. The last way that I'd like to talk to you about is what I call just sitting down at your computer just to be creative. This one is really hard for me. This one I tend to only really do when I'm writing features, although some sketches have come out pretty good doing it this way. This one is hard. This one makes me feel like I'm confined. This one I should do a lot more of. So those are some ways that I come up with ideas. Guys, the last thing that I want to do is challenge myself to write a little bit every single day this week. I want Musecast to hold me accountable. Next week, I'll tell you guys whether or not I got writing done every single day. Thank you for watching. Come back next week.